Hello, Freedom Family. I'm Mark, and here's the question for you. How do you have the best life in 2025, your best life in 2025? It really comes down to understanding this single thing that I'm going to tell you, and it's this: you're more than your title, you're more than your role, you're more than your income, you're more than your accomplishments, you're more than your relationships. Come to find out, the best way to have the life that you're created to have is to really understand first and foremost who you are. Right? It's a huge question. A lot of people talk about it. Everybody wants to figure it out for themselves, but it really comes down to this. It comes down to the answer to the two questions, right? The first question is this: I have value when. If you're an I have value when person, you are the sum total of your outcomes. And in that place, as long as I have a relationship, as long as I'm successful in business, as long as I have a bachelor's degree, or I have this, athletic accomplishment in my life, as long as I have these things in my life, these outcomes in my life, I'm okay. I have value, I have worth, I have meaning. But what happens when you don't? What happens when you don't have that job? I've been there, where you've lost a job and it takes you several months to find one, or maybe years. For me, it took several months to find a job, and I remember losing my job and feeling, after you start to figure out that the paychecks aren't coming and you're not able to contribute to the bills and all the things that you're doing, there can be this feeling that you're not bringing value to that family, that relationship that you have. What happens when you lose relationships? Does that mean you're no longer worth loving because that one relationship didn't work out? What happens when you don't accomplish that? You don't achieve that business success. You don't get that promotion. You're not able to get that job. And in those places, is your identity so tied to the things that are outcomes in your life that you don't feel of value until you have them? The challenge with that kind of mentality is that when I have that as my mentality, it's the hamster wheel of success syndrome. Meaning this: I have to continue to achieve to prove I have value. And the joy from that lasts about 10 minutes. The excitement from that lasts about 3. And then I have to do it again. And then I have to do it again thereafter. See, that first question, that first statement that you have, I have value when, is one that's going to lead you to a place of only feeling value when you accomplish things. Maybe it's your childhood, where you felt like you needed to be an A student to be recognized. You needed to be the one that stood out in order to feel like you had any value at all. Maybe it's in those places where people told you were going to be a failure or you didn't succeed, and so now you're going to prove them wrong. The problem with those endeavors and those ideas on what it looks like to be successful, to have fulfillment in your life, is that when you get to the top of the mountain, you don't feel better than when you started. You just have to continue to redo it, recreate it over and over again. So that's the first statement, the first question. The second one is, I have value because. I have value because what? That's really the whole statement, because I have value because of who I'm created to be. I have value because of my identity. I have value because of the characteristics that make me me. I have value simply because I am. And it's not a statement of arrogance, but it's an understanding that your value comes from who you are walking into your circumstance and the things you're doing. It doesn't come afterwards when you achieve it. Those achievements are just an acknowledgement of your value lived out. They don't create your value. So I don't feel like I'm a person of success and worth because I've been an entrepreneur and sold businesses, because I've got my college degree, because I got my second degree black belt, because I have long-term relationship, right? All of those things are very validly exciting in your life, right? But they don't substitute for an identity. Your value is lived out in those accomplishments you make. Those accomplishments don't tell you who you are unless you allow them to. So your best life in 2025 will come down to two statements: I have value when, or I have value because. The I have value because statement is you living from your identity and allowing your identity to create your accomplishments. The I have value when statement is you creating an identity from your accomplishments and having them tell you who you are. And in that place, you'll never be satisfied. You'll always need more. You'll always have to recreate who you are. But in that place of I have value because, you can simply live from who you are. And certainly you'll have higher and higher levels of success and achievement and goals that are met and things that are, accomplished in your life. But they won't come because you need to prove who you are. They'll come because of who you are. When you understand who you are, when your identity shapes your value, your identity shapes your outcomes and the satisfaction and fulfillment you get from it. If you start from the place of value, I have value because 2025 will be a year like no other. It will be the best year ever, because in it you'll be the best you ever. Finally realizing that you're enough. Finally realizing that you are exactly what's needed. Finally realizing that you're the answer walking into the room. You're not the question to be figured out. And in that place, 2025 is going to be the most amazing year you'll ever have. But it's only the first of many. If you start with the statement, I have value because. And in that place, because of that, you'll have everything you desire. Do me a favor. Share this with somebody you know who maybe needs to figure out a different value statement for their life or wants to have their best life in 2025. And hit a like button. Let me know that something we're doing here resonates with you. Give me a comment down below if you want to have a conversation about something, or you want to let me know what value you believe you have on the inside of you. And if you do nothing else, dominate your day.